Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of DGS. We are about to enter into another joint reasoning, which I'm excited for because I love this mechanic and I wish there was more of it in this game. But there's really only this joint reasoning and then one more in case 5 and then that's it. I know, it's sad. But let us begin. Topic 1. The identity of the wild child that went on a rampage. Although it's hardly necessary for this famous detective to stretch his arm and point it out, it's clear that this fearsome wild beast went on a rampage here not long ago. Now, what could that wild beast be? Whoops. It seems that this retired soldier's eyes are more honest than I had anticipated. Whoa. Lying on the other end of your line of vision just now was our answer. The identity of this wild beast, overflowing with ferocity, is indicated by that lion statue. Although you were a soldier once, you're scrawny and your appearance doesn't exactly give the impression of strength. That's precisely why you aspire to be like the lion, the king of the beast. What are you talking about? It seems that aspiration went a little too far. You had a real lion imported from India and attempted to raise it in secret. What the? Did you see that mark on his face? But raising a jungle wild child wasn't easy, and as a result, the wild child left its harsh claw marks on this room. But however, at a glance, there doesn't appear to be any sign of this wild beast. Where could that wild beast have vanished to? The answer to that is, Madam? Oh, yes? Pardon me for saying so, but I could tell right away simply by observing you. Me, you say? In your pocket is a clue to where this wild beast disappeared to. The paper poking out of your pocket seems to be a flyer for the circus. Oh. You search for a way to get rid of that fearsome lion. Bellenbohr Circus. It's a traveling circus with a tent set up in a nearby park. I've seen it too. You sold that dangerous lion to the circus. Ridiculous. And that is all. Everything seems to have become clear. The identity of the terrifying wild beast that lived in this room was a lion. When I went to the circus, the lion was happily leaping through hoops of fire. Sherlock. Conclusion. Ferocious lion shipped from India. I was not given the label for this topic, so I will subtitle it later. Also, Mr. Gyakuten, you seem to harbor a deep affection for that terrifying wild beast. Yes, I could tell that seemingly insignificant gesture was you taking your heart into your hands. The way you rested your face in your hand clearly expresses the deep pain you're going through. You had to say a tearful farewell to that wild beast you love so dearly, after all. The pain of losing something you love. I know it well. You've got it all wrong. I was just... That pain you're feeling, what could be the cause of it? Again, the target of your gaze makes everything incredibly clear. Yes, the pain you're in. This stack of bills reveals its source. Those envelopes stacked up there all appear to be bills. Oh. Large crates of meat and potatoes, as well as wheat and black tea, they say. This wild animal's food costs have done quite a number on household expenses. That's why you had no choice but to part with it. And then, that wild animal went on one final rampage. Rampage? The evidence of that rampage is left clearly ripped into that rug spread out on the floor. As far as I could tell, it seemed to be a rather high-quality rug of woven wool.
Oh.
Why did such a terrible thing occur? Oh, she's just looking everywhere for me. There's nothing in the world more dangerous than a wild, hungry animal. If we haven't any bread, it can eat these sweets. Those may or may not have been the words of a certain lady. It wouldn't be out of line to say that food is the cause of all tragedy. Oh, I skipped over. Sorry. I skipped over the script. Back up. So when she was looking over there, Sherlock was talking. It appears that you, madam, will be the one to tell me this time. The thing reflected in your eyes, the exact answer I was looking for. The evidence that indicates that what did such a cruel thing to the rug is that cake stand. I don't know what happened, I just skipped over a whole set of lines, and now I'm repeating myself. Sorry. There's nothing in the world more dangerous than a wild, hungry animal. If we haven't any bread, it can eat these sweets. Those may or may not have been the words of a certain lady. I thought the lines were weird. I was like, we're not even at the cake stand yet. What? It wouldn't be out of line to say that food is the cause of all tragedy. But what do you mean? The beast, having grown tired of the taste of sweets, began to search for its next meal. I probably don't even need to say it. The true nature of that wild child's unique fury. There is but one conclusion. The lion, vision fading with hunger, made a snack of the rug. Teeth marks on the rug are a perfect match with those of a lion I saw in India long ago. Really? Conclusion, the hungry lion ate the rug. Sherlock. What even? And that concludes Sherlock Holmes' famous deduction. That's quite a... This is even more out there than the deduction in case 2.
Oh, look, Joe, you're spilling! Oh my, master. I hadn't noticed.
Well, it's certainly understandable that the sharpness of my deductions could cause one to spill their tea. You see, there are rumors of it causing some woman to spill tears over it.
Right.
Holmes-san? May I say something again this time? Sure, Mr. Naruhodō. What is it this time? About your deduction just now. Do you really think there was a lion living in his cramped room? That seems to be the only assumption we can make. Frightening, isn't it? Completely unthinkable within the realms of common sense. There's no. Please consider common sense when you come up with these things.
But if a lion really had gone on a rampage in this room, I can't imagine that Gyakuten-sama and the maid would have escaped safely.
What? Is that what you're worried about? They probably just returned fire with that cannon over there. What happened to the part about selling it to the circus?
And meat and potatoes are one thing. But this would be the first time I've ever heard of a lion who would partake of black tea.
I often think of it like this, Miss Osato. It doesn't matter who they are. If you ask anyone in Great Britain, everyone has an equal right to enjoy a cup of afternoon tea. That's what they'll tell you.
What an admirable sentiment. Well then, Naruhodō-sama, I suppose it's your turn once more.
I thought this might happen.
Let's give Holmes-sama's deduction just a little help.
Oh, I've been waiting for this, Mr. Naruhodō. I swear he's only doing this because Naruhodo's around. Because he enjoys it. I'm still not sure how this deduction is connected with the case. But I'm sure there's a merit to knowing the truth. I hope that from the bottom of my heart. In that case, shall we begin? Once again. Sherlock Holmes, Logic and Reasoning Experimental Theater. Here we go again. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Back to the first topic. Although it's hardly necessary for this famous detective to stretch his arms and point it out, it's clear that this fearsome wild beast went on a rampage here not long ago. Now, what could this wild beast be? It seems that this retired soldier's eyes are more honest than I had anticipated. What? Lying on the other end of your line of vision just now was our answer. The identity of this wild beast overflowing with ferocity is indicated by that lion statue. I didn't expect a lion to be mentioned at a time like this.
But as far as I can tell by looking at Gyakuten-sama's reaction, it looks as though the part about a wild beast going on a rampage was true.
That's pretty scary, no matter what type it is.
It simply wasn't a lion smuggled over from India.
Then, what could this wild beast possibly be?
Gyakuten-sama's line of vision moved, and at the end of it is where we should be able to find our true answer.
Let's examine the line figure itself. So this is the line figurine in question.
Perhaps if I were to actually try living with a lion, I might end up finding it unexpectedly cute.
That's... how should I put this? It feels a little like a mouse calling a cat cute.
Perhaps that was a touch conceited of me.
Anyway, there must be some sort of beast here besides this. Let's have a good hard look. There's a picture in the background, but before we get there, we're gonna hit this cannon shells. These are bullet shells, aren't they? For the cannon. I wonder how something like that ended up in a place like this.
Perhaps it's a memento from his army days. Come to think of it, Gyakuten-sama mentioned that he'd taken a bullet to the knee on the battlefield a few years ago. Could this be...
Just what do you think his knee is made of? If it'd taken one of these, it would have been ripped clean off. First Holmes-san's Persian slipper, now this. Don't the English decorate their mantelpieces with something normal? Okay, anyhow, now we examine this photo here. Oh my, this photo.
Perhaps it's Gyakuten-sama's wedding photo? He certainly looks happy.
I'm glad that he's happy, but you can't see his wife's face.
Unfortunately, something seems to have struck it and shattered the glass.
Maybe I better not think too deeply about what happened to it. I think we all have come to the conclusion as to what's really going on here.
Thanks to the large crack in it, her face is completely obscured.
But even with those cracks, it seems that her plump figure couldn't be hidden.
Perhaps it'd be more accurate to say that she's burly.
You're right, she looks strong as an ox. I think it would be in anyone's interest not to make someone like that angry.
Look at this! His wife is wearing a large wedding ring.
He has a rather unique wedding ring, isn't it?
It seems to be a ring in the shape of a sunflower.
Gyakuten sure looks happy in this shot, too.
This must be Gyakuten-sama during his army days.
He's smiling brightly, holding up his heavy wife as if she's light as a feather.
Gyakuten-sama must have been quite strong.
Looking at his skin and bones figure now, it's really hard to imagine. Now, we shall present Mrs. Gyakuten. I think we can all conclude who the maid actually is now. The identity of this ferocious wild beast can only be Mrs. Gyakuten. It's even worse now. Home dispute. Correct, Mr. Naruhodō. That's the only assumption we can make. The person shown in this photo is your wife, isn't it? Unfortunately, her face is not visible. But at the very least, those burly arms of hers appear to have the strength of an ox in them. Indeed, we call her a wild beast as a compliment. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Anyway, the identity of the wild beast that went on a rampage in this room is... Mr. Gyakuten, it was your wife. Gwa! That wild child left its harsh claw marks on this room.
But...
However, at a glance, there doesn't appear to be any sign of this wild beast. Are you sure? Where could that wild beast have vanished to? The answer to that is... Madam.
Yes?
Pardon me for saying so, but I can tell right away simply by observing you.
Me, you say?
In your pocket is a clue to where this wild beast disappeared to. No, we didn't take her to the circus.
I don't know what to think about calling a delicate woman a wild beast.
Well, I'd say there's at least room to debate just how delicate she is, though.
Oh, it's true. I don't see his wife in this room.
And the clue that indicates her whereabouts is hidden in this maid's pocket. Where could Mr. Gyakuten wife be? That's a teapot.
That's a classy teapot she's often seen carrying. We just saw her providing Gyakuten with some aromatic tea from it.
Yeah, that's true. She didn't seem to be aiming for the cup. I guess saying she's provided it to him is your nice way of pointing that out, huh?
That wasn't my intention at all.
Sure it wasn't. Oh, see, he's got a slap on his face there. Yep, a household dispute. It has to be. I can't seem to go any lower. Oh, wait. I'm gonna try and get this.
She does indeed seem to have a flyer for the circus in her pocket. Balinbor Circus. It's being held at a nearby park.
Don't tell me Gyakuten-san sold his wife to the circus.
Oh, Naruhodō-sama. How cruel.
Hey, come on, it was only a joke.
I've been wondering whether she'd been eaten by the lion. It's infinitely better than what you suggested.
Either way, it would have been a cruel fate. Alright, we're almost to this... there it is. Like, we're almost there.
The maid. She's wearing a large ring. It's a ring in the shape of a sunflower.
For her to be wearing that ring on the ring finger of her left hand.
It must be a wedding ring. There's no doubt about it.
It's wedged onto her plump finger. Doesn't look like she'll be able to get it off again.
I don't think you ought to be saying things like that. Come to think of it, on the ring finger of the wife in the picture we saw a moment ago was a large sunflower-shaped ring, very much like this one.
Was there? You must have been really looking closely. We were all looking! God damn it, Naruhodō. A large sunflower-shaped... Oh my god. A large sunflower-shaped wedding ring, huh? Would it be just a coincidence? Well, it's better than selling her to the circus, so let's go with it. That wedding ring of yours. It's a clue as to where the wild beast vanished off to.
Oh!
Precisely! The beautiful ring shining upon your finger, that's... Exactly the same ring the wife is wearing in this photo. In other words, Miss Maid, you're not a Miss Maid at all. Indeed. You're Mr. Gyakuten wife, Mrs. Gyakuten, in the flesh.
Oh! Ah!
Still have one more thing to deduce now. Hold on, my foot's asleep, so give me a second. I should have expected as much from a famous detective. As you observe, this is my wife, Joan. In spite of how she is now, she was a shining jewel. Ow! Hot, 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 hot! As far as I can see, your lives certainly don't seem easy. After all, On top of being a retired soldier, you've been reduced to renting out your open rooms. Kuh. Naturally, you haven't the means to employ a maid, isn't that right? But... as the former head of the 3rd Platoon, I have my pride. For me not to be able to employ even a single maid, it's pathetic, don't you think? I don't know, it's more pathetic to make your wife your maid. Here in London, whether your houses can afford to employ a maid or not. That's the criterion for determining whether you're middle-class material. The way you display yourself to society as a retired soldier is rather meaningless, if you'll permit me to say so. So then, the wild beast, his wife, became his maid. That's what happened. Your thoughts, Mr. Gyakuten? Naturally, it's only when guests come around. If you could see your way to keeping this a secret, I mean. Please, you must keep it a secret. The wild beast that went on the rampage was Mrs. Gyakuten. Solved! Now we do the second topic. Also, Mr. Gyakuten, you seem to harbor a deep affection for that terrible wild beast. Yes, I can tell that seemingly insignificant gesture was you taking your heart into your hands. The way you rested your face in your hand clearly expresses the deep pain you're going through. I guess I should have known that Home-san would go on treating the wife like a wild beast.
As a fellow woman, I can't help feeling a touch pained by that.
But Gyakuten-san's wife is standing there beside him even now. Which means he didn't lose his beloved wild beast.
Yes, you're right. In that case, why the hand to his cheek? There must be a different reason behind it.
According to Home-san, Gyakuten-san is in pain. Let's try thinking about what Gyakuten-san's expression could mean.
My, what a large pipe!
To be able to balance a massive thing like that, Gyakuten-san must have a pretty strong jaw. Can't help wondering about the white tape wrapped around the tape. Around the pipe. Wrapped around the pipe, excuse me. Damn slaps, yo.
Gyakuten-sama's cheek appears to be marked by sorrow, doesn't it?
According to Home-san's deduction, Gyakuten-san is clearly experiencing intense pain. But honestly, he didn't lose his beloved wife.
In other words, the source of his pain must be something else. That is what we must conclude.
Whoa, look! It's all red and swollen.
And there can be no doubt that the mark is in the shape of a hand.
Looks like this clears things up pretty neatly. He must have been slapped good and hard.
I've never seen a paw print so artistically rendered before. Who on earth could have turned their hand on them?
Well, there aren't exactly that many choices here. Yeah, exactly. Let's present it. Your intense pain. That pink impression indicates it clearly. Upon your cheek is the unfading imprint of a hand, and as a strong arm owner is, of course, Madam Joan Gyakuten. I assumed it was you.
Well,
you were trying to hide the pain of having been slapped. Oh! How'd you know all this? I don't know, it's kinda obvious if you look at your face, though. Oh, I just realized their design. Gyakuten is representing the moon, and Mrs. Gyakuten represents the sun. Sorry, I just realized this now, and that's kinda cool. I'm a master of deduction. It's impossible to slip by these eyes. That's why you haven't looked this way even one time until now. To keep that cheek of yours hidden. Now then, let us move on to the next issue, shall we? Why was that harsh pink impression left upon your cheek? To put it more simply, why did you slap your husband? Again, the target of your gaze makes everything incredibly clear. Yes, the pain you're in. The stack of bills reveals its source.
I believe those bills were meant to have been for the lion's feed.
But it turns out there was never a lion. So then, the one munching away at this incredible amount of feed. As far as I can tell, it was Mr. Gyakuten.
Honestly, you can't call it feed then.
Well, either way, Gyakuten-san was slapped across the face by his wife. Not only that, but a good hard one, so that imprint is still there even now.
A reason for a woman to slap her husband. I wonder what it could be.
I sure like to know. No, you don't.
It's a stack of bills for a large amount of food.
If memory serves, it was carts full of things like meat and potatoes, right? How can I put this? Looking at those two, I can tell right away which of them is eating it.
The contrast between Gyakuten-sama and his wife is a touch painful to look at.
That is this little bookmark that's in the book.
This appears to be a bookmark. Gyakuten-sama must like to read.
Huh. One moment, please. Oh! That ain't no bookmark! I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh, you're right. There's a woman handwriting in ink upon it. Oh, James, how I love you. Love, Mary.
And looks what's next to the signature. This is...
Oh, it's a kiss mark in scarlet lipstick. How, well, passionate. I think it's very romantic.
Susato-san seems to be spacing out.
Oh, pardon me.
Anyway, this bookmark turned out to be a love note. That's pretty much exactly what would get someone angry. What the heck happened here?
These are the shards of a shattered plate. It seems that no plans were made on cleaning them up.
Maybe it's a piece of art put there for decoration.
Indeed.
I mean, the guy's idea of decoration includes cannons. Clearly, he's has eccentric taste.
I suppose you're right. Let's go with that, shall we?
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and present the love note. That is exactly a reason why a woman would slap you. You don't cheat on your wife. Yes, the pain you're suffering. The cause is indicated by this love note. Oh, James, how I love you. That is rather passionate. Oh! So the sender, this woman known as Mary, is the one responsible for that pink impression. Oh, and there we go. But I have no idea who that woman is. You don't know her? This love note wasn't written to me. It's just, you know, magically appeared inside that book. Magically. That's right. Hot!
I wonder about that.
Listen, Joe, I explained it to you then too, didn't I? I bought this book from the used bookshop, and it was in there when I got it. In other words, its previous owner used it as a bookmark. That's right. Ow!
I wonder about that.
For starters, look at the name. Can't you see it's James? My name is John. Ah! Oh my god, the wife is not taking any of this even.
I wonder about that.
You doubt my name? Oh! 2 slaps. 3 slaps. Just like this. A woman's doubt caused you to be given a slap, not unlike the bite of a wild beast.
Ooh.
And then, that wild animal went on one final rampage.
What rampage?
The evidence of that rampage is clearly ripped into that rug spread on the floor. As far as I can tell, it seems to be a rather high-quality rug of woven wool. Why did such a terrible thing... Oh, whoops. Why did such a terrible thing occur? It appears that you, madam, will be the one to tell me this time. The thing reflected in your eyes is the exact answer I was looking for. The evidence that indicates what did such a cruel thing to the rug is that cake stand.
Don't tell me. His wife really tried to eat that rug.
No, there's no way. But somehow the disaster in this room must have been caused by his wife's rage. I don't think there can be any mistake about that.
It seems that way. Naruhodō-sama, I think we finally arrived at the last point. The answer to our question should be whatever the wife's gaze is directed at.
Alright, let's take a good hard look.
Right! This is a flyer for the circus, right? Bōken Circus. Apparently it's being held at a nearby park.
I hope it's not Mangodal Park. Come to think of it, isn't this flyer the same as the one that we found stuffed in the lady's pocket earlier?
She must be quite fond of Bōken Circus.
Don't tell me we've come all this way just for the Hungry Lion to make its miraculous revival.
Let's hope not.
This poor cake stand.
No matter how many times I see it, it still feels like something straight out of a dream.
Huh? You think?
I mean, look! There's a mountain of beautiful cakes!
I say it was more of a tower than a mountain, personally.
Regardless, do you suppose that the day will come when our nation builds a tower of Daifuku and green tea?
Daifuku. I'm learning new words today. Daifuku. We'll put a translation up. I wonder. Let's look at this rug. It got chewed up pretty badly, huh?
According to what Home-sama said earlier, it's a perfect match with the bite marks of an Indian lion.
Huh?
What is it, Naruhodō-sama?
If you look closely at this rug, the area around the ruined part is burned.
You're right. Perhaps it wasn't eaten after all.
Shouldn't we set that unlikely possibility aside and think of other possibilities? So it was burned, so let's look at the candle holder then.
This is a very old-looking candle holder.
Somehow the small size of the base makes it look a little unsteady. It looks like the smallest disturbance would tip it over.
Huh, that's quite dangerous.
Hey, this candle holder. Look at it, Susato-san. There's one candle missing.
You're right.
Why is there a candle missing from this candle holder? Well, we know the source of the issue now, so let's present it. The evidence that indicates the reason this room is in such terrible shape is this candle holder. Yes, that's the exit to this labyrinth of pure logic. The fearsome wild beast bite marks are clearly left here. Yes, naturally I'm referring to the burn marks around the rug's ragged edge. Burn marks. Yes, there was a little domestic spat here in this room. When the wife's strong arm struck Mr. Geradev, the impact caused the lit candle holder to fall off the table. Then the flame from the candle caught the rug and it began to burn. The most dangerous wild beast in the world is fire. And it went wild here in this room. In other words, the only one conclusion we can draw. A domestic spat sparked a fire in this room. Oh, he's getting up. You really deserve the title of famous detective. Oh. Nice catch, Mrs. Gyakuten. The new conclusion. There was a fire that burned the rug. Solved. Whew. I'm so glad. But man, that's so out there. On long winter nights, I always sit by the fire and read. There's a used bookshop nearby, and I buy old novels there, but... inside one of those books was this ridiculous thing.
And that caused Gyakuten-sama's wife to strike him.
Strike, or maybe brutalize. You had it right when you called her a wild beast. Ah! The hot! She's still at it. Alright, we're gonna stop here since we are finished with the joint reasoning, and I'm probably a little bit over time now, so we shall continue on to this discussion in the next video, and I'm pretty sure the next one will be the last one until we get into the trial, so good times.